Hello everybody, this is Mr. Rob and welcome back to another episode of MyGM Mode here on WWE 2k23. As today we are once again on the other side of a PLE and we're looking to build towards our next one, and it being Survivor Series. Hope you guys have enjoyed this series. Thank you guys again so much for the support. If you are interested in more, make sure you drop that like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more wrestling content here on the channel, as well as if you're interested in buying some Rogue Energy. I have a referral link in the description of all of my videos. If you use that and code Mr. Rob, you can get 10% off your purchase. But today, we had a very good Extreme Rules, I would say. It was successful. We had a 5-star match, our third one of the series. But once again, we did not really close the gap. SmackDown still continues to pull ahead of us in the ratings and the fans. So we have to pull out the big guns. We have to really bring in reinforcements. And if you saw on Extreme Rules, they didn't wrestle. We did make 2 huge signings. Hulk Hogan is a part of the roster, as well as Stone Cold Steve Austin. So we have signed 2 huge legends to kind of help us out. And we've already set up one feud in Stone Cold. He will feud with Randy Orton right out of the gate. Well, I'm not sure what Hulk Hogan will feud with just yet, but we had to sign the big boys. We had to try to bring in some more ratings and get some more popularity, since we have all this money now thanks to Kevin Owens going on his little movie tour. We also made a couple of other smaller signings. Big E is going to join the roster this week, as well as Io Sky. So we actually now have a pretty full roster, which is a good and a bad thing, as some you can see have not the best morale. So that's also something we got to be worried about. But hopefully all of these signs can help us with a show that is going to help us be successful. So we've gone ahead and already had the first show of tonight's episode booked, this Monday Night Raw. And it's kind of a bookended by championship matches. We have 2 championship matches on the card. We're going to start off with Rey Mysterio defending the United States Championship against Shinsuke Nakamura. No feud behind this one, but I feel like Rey could get a pretty solid match out of Nakamura with no rivalry, especially with the championship on the line. So if this goes well, this is something that we'll continue to do with Rey, if he's still champion at least in the coming weeks. Roman Reigns will call out Logan Paul because we crowned a new WWE champion at Extreme Rules, and it was Logan Paul. He did win the championship. It was a pretty solid match too, so this rivalry will continue. So Reigns and Paul, currently level 1, we'll try to advance that. Fatal 4-way match between Rhea Ripley, Carmella, Liv Morgan, and Karen Compactor. Really no stakes behind this one, other than these 4 women don't have the best morale right now, and I want to get them on the show. So that is why that match is taking place. Hulk Hogan is going to cut a charity promo for us, hopefully get us some more fans as well. And then Io Sky is going to make her Raw debut. She's going to go up against Raquel Rodriguez. Stone Cold is going to call out Randy Orton again, as these 2 look to advance their feud. And speaking of Randy Orton, in the main event, the Raw Tag Team Championships are on the line. Rated RKO will defend against Braun Strowman and Gunther. And we're going to have Jey Uso run in on this match, because I hope what happens is that Rated RKO actually loses the Raw Tag Team Champions to Strowman and Gunther. Strowman and Gunther have been a phenomenal tag team. They've only had 2 matches, and they put on a 3-star and a 5-star match. So I think putting the titles on them would be nice. Randy Orton could go feud with Stone Cold in the Dream Match feud. And then Edge has built himself a pretty solid little rivalry against Jey Uso, so maybe that'll kind of hopefully branch off into something else. So that's what I plan to do, but I gotta get the Raw Tag Team titles off of them so they don't start to become stagnant. I think a pretty solid show. I think we could do something with this. So let's go ahead and confirm it and see what happens. United States Championship on the line to start. Mysterio versus Nakamura. And Rey Mysterio retains the United States Championship. It only a 2.5-star match. That did not quite hit what I thought it was going to do. But Rey retains the championship. Roman Reigns calls out Logan Paul. That is an excellent promo by the Tribal Chief. Did you expect anything less? So that is now a level 2 rivalry. Fatal 4-way match between the women, Ripley, Carmella, Morgan, and Compactor. And the winner of this one is Rhea Ripley. That's all I was hoping would win. And it was just a 2-star match, so not off to the best starts inside the ring again. 5,000 fans will join us though, thanks to the Hulksters. Excellent promo. Io Sky versus Raquel Rodriguez. And Raquel actually picks up the win. I was hoping Io would pick up the win. That was a 3-star match, so good job to those women. That's been our best match of the night so far. I had different plans for Io, but maybe we can pivot a little bit to something else. Stone Cold calls out Randy. It was okay, but the rivalry does grow to a level 2. And then speaking of our main event, the Raw Tag Team Championships are on the line. Orton and Edge, Gunther and Strowman, Jey Uso running in. And we do crown new Raw Tag Team Champions in a 3-star match. So Gunther and Strowman are the Raw Tag Champs, thanks to Jey Uso getting involved. Not the best show though overall for us, so I'm a little worried as what SmackDown's about to pull, as they're going to start off with a tag title match. Bliss and Dolan defending them against Lynch and Xia Li. This is a very big rivalry for them, as they get a 4-star match to begin because they have new women's tag team champions. Lynch and Xia Li get it done. What an odd pairing that is. A self promo from Braden the Dark, interesting. Didn't go very well, so we can see SmackDown's made a couple of signings and they're kind of looks like rebuilding a little bit. MVP versus Montez Ford 1-on-1, and Montez Ford picks up the victory in a 3-star match. So their in-ring side of things is doing really well. Balor cuts a weak self promo. I think it's the first time I've seen SmackDown have a weak promo, so it doesn't do anything for him. Doudrop will take on Trixie Gambit, so it looks like a jobber in a tables match. So Doudrop is going to put her behind through a table. That's exactly what happens. 2-star match, so we did beat them in that portion of the card. Angelo Dawkins calls out MVP, so they want to get that feud, looks like, going. It's their next Intercontinental Championship rivalry. It's now a level 1. And then their main event's Kane versus Noam Dar. So a new signing of Kane, and then they also have a new signing. Vader is going to run it on this match. So it looks like Kane and Vader are going to kickstart a rivalry. That's actually a pretty solid one, if I do say so myself. And Kane picks up the victory regardless, and only a 2-star match, so we did beat them down the stretch. Not the best episode for SmackDown, and as you can see, there's no Cena, so maybe he's hurt, or they just gave him the week off. They did beat us early though, but we beat them towards the end, so we'll have to be interesting to see what happens in the fans, as we gain 47,000 fans and gain $112,000 in budget money, while they gained 42,000 fans. So we did beat SmackDown this week. We beat them by 5,000 fans. And if you remember, we had the Hulkster cut that promo. So thank you, Hulk Hogan, for cutting a good charity portion of the show. We did beat SmackDown in the fans. You can see we desperately needed it down by almost 200,000. We are now inside that mark. So a very successful start to the show as we continue to build towards Survivor Series. And hold on a second. Looks like Adam Pearce has activated a power card on us. Best Friends Forever applied. Select an opposing brand. Reduce 2 of the rivalries by 1 level. Selected randomly. Wow, so Adam Pearce trying to hamper us after we just beat him in a show. You got me once, but now I have payback. Excuse me, I am Adam Pearce. Kurt Angle's doing that. I'll say, fair enough. I hope you know this means war. Oh, I know. There's more where that came from. I kind of hope there's not more where it came from. Liv Morgan, things are working out on Raw. I'm ready to tear up my contract. I had a feeling this was going to happen. The only way you can convince me to stay is with a $100,000 bonus. Otherwise, I'm ready to walk out right now. What's it going to be? See, I don't want to give Liv $100,000. I don't think she's worth it. She has 62 pop, though, which is nice. But we also don't really have a really good women's division right now. So I think this might sound crazy, but we do have the money. So I am going to give Liv the bonus. I don't want her leaving Raw, so she will get the 100K. Hopefully this doesn't become a trend. Alright, that smooths things over for now. Thanks for doing business. Hey boss, you've had me on the bench for a while and I really want to get back in the ring. It's time you woke up and put me where I belong. I want a match in the next show. I really don't want to give Akira Tozawa a match. But, I mean, if you want it, I guess it's better than walking out. So, sure thing. You do seem to get the crowd riled up. No, he doesn't. I'm lying to Tozawa. Thanks. Raw needs to put its best talent in the ring. I do. So, good start to the show. Fortunately, we did have some rivalries drop, but we did close the gap, even if it was so minuscule. So, let's see if we can keep that momentum going into another week. Alright, we got the second half of today's episode ready to go, trying to build on the momentum of last week. And I think we've put together a pretty interesting show. It could be a little bit of a risk, though. Start off with Jey Uso and Edge. Their level 2 rivalry will kick off the show. I'm hoping that they can just kind of get the match and the crowd start off well. Io Sky is going to call out Asuka. This is going to be our next Raw Women's Championship feud heading into Survivor Series. So I'm hoping that gets started with that promo. Then we'll see Akira Tozawa take on Randy Orton. Tozawa wanted a match this week, so I thought we'll get him in here with Orton. I don't expect this one to do very good, though, but I do want to continue the Orton-Stone Cold feud, so Stone Cold will run in on this match. Rey Mysterio will cut a charity promo. It's time for him to get on the mic and try to get us some extra fans that way. That's kind of helped us a little bit, so we're hoping that strategy continues with the Masked Luchador. The New Day will take on Braun Strowman and Gunther, the new Raw Tag Team Champions, in a non-title matchup. I'm hoping this kind of starts our next tag team rivalry, the New Day, Strowman and Gunther. I think they could put on some pretty solid matches. Rhea Ripley's going to call out Carmella. I want to have a second women's feud going other than the Raw Women's Championship, and I do like Ripley a lot, so I think this was the original idea, so hopefully we can get that one going. Our main event, I think it's a little bit of a risk. Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul, the second time for the WWE Championship. It's in a backstage brawl. I wanted to try to spice it up, do something different. So those two will take on in the backstage area for the WWE Championship. So a little bit of a risk. We got to kind of start to take these risks as we'll confirm it and hopefully see what happens. And hopefully it's a good thing as we start off with Jey Uso versus Edge. No stipulation though. Hopefully that doesn't cost us a little bit as Edge picks up the victory here in what was only a 2-star match. So their rivalry is a level 3, but they haven't put on the best matches, so to speak. So it's been a very interesting one. I'll probably continue it towards Survivor Series, but I think I might need to start putting stipulations on the rivalry if I want to see the best results. Io Sky calls out Asuka is okay, but it does start their rivalry, so we got to try to start to kickstart that one into the pay-per-view. Tozawa versus Randy Orton, one-on-one. Orton wins, even though Stone Cold did interfere, and it was only at a 1.5 stars, so disappointing. That's what I worried about. Tozawa and Orton don't have the best chemistry, so to speak, but Orton picks up the win, and I guess it makes Tozawa happy for the short term. Rey Mysterio does give us 5,000 fans. That's something that we needed. The New Day versus Strowman and Gunther, non-title matchup. And Strowman and Gunther again pick up the victory. They're undefeated as a tag team. And it gets 2.5 stars. And it starts that rivalry. So that has the Raw Tag Team Championships. Rhea Ripley calls out Carmella. It was okay, but their rivalry has started. And then the main event. We need this one to do well. Backstage brawl for the WWE Championship. And Roman Reigns has regained his title in a 4-star match. So we do get the 4-star in the main event. And it kind of helps this show just a little bit, I would say. We'll see what SmackDown does. They're going to start off with a Women's Championship match with Lynch and Dolan. This one might put on a clinic as Lynch retains the SmackDown Women's Championship in a 4-star match. So they get their 4-star match in the opener. We got ours in the main event. Hopefully they don't have any more of those. Trixie Gray cuts the charity promo. It does get 5,000 fans, so they counteract us in that way. Cena's back on the show. He takes on Finn Balor, non-title matchup. Cena picks up the victory in what was a 2-star match. So SmackDown having the best of shows so far. Xia Li calls out Shayna Baszler. I thought that rivalry was dead, but I guess not. No, it's at level 4, so that'll be a big blow-off in the future. Noam Dar and Kane take on each other, and Kane is able to pick up the victory in only a 2.5-star match. So they had the good start to the show, but not so good everywhere else. Trying to get Braid in the Dark over as he cuts another promo for Tupac. And our main event is an Extreme Rules match. MVP versus Angelo Dawkins. And the winner is Angelo Dawkins in a 4-star match. So SmackDown does get 2 4-star matches, despite not a best mid-card either. But we did not put on a good show. It definitely beat us this week, as we gained 47,000 fans and gained only $11,000, while SmackDown gained 54,000 fans and only $74,000. So only a 7,000 fan loss though. So at least we did gain a little bit this episode overall. We also do get a power card. We get network special. The fans your show gains this week will increase by a large amount. Ooh, that's a big one. Might save that for Survivor Series. But trying to close this gap. Currently down by about 190,000 fans. But it's progress. We did make progress this episode. Kevin Owens, it's been too long, but I'm back. So we get our movie star back. Thanks for the opportunity. The movie was getting some serious buzz during test screens. This is great for my career. We are great to have you back. We need you here. Let's get back to work. Yes, Kevin, let's get you going. Rey Mysterio says, my friends and family have been waiting so long to see me compete live in San Diego. Can't wait to entertain them this week. Okay, so Rey just wants to get on the show. And Logan Paul says, I'm not happy about losing my strap last week. That's a fine. You can't use that word. As a former champion, I'm reenacting my rematch clause. I want a championship rematch against Roman. Nobody else better get a title shot before me. Well, that's interesting, because I actually just remember that Edge is supposed to get a championship match. But I do want to give Logan Paul his rematch, so we'll say okay. Good, don't want to keep the one waiting too long. I already missed wearing that gold around my waist, so alright. Paul's going to get a rematch at some point. I think we put together a pretty decent show. The gap has definitely started to close, as you can see in this episode. So it was a good job. We're making progress. We're catching SmackDown. It's going to be slowly, but it's going to be surely. We're going to get back to that point. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure you drop that like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more MyGM content. This is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.